was a very successful Friday night for Netflix as 60 million people watched Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight live from Dallas, Texas, inside AT&T Stadium. Now, whether you like the fight or not, I didn't really care for the fight. It was a major mainstream spectacle, but it came with a lot of technical difficulties and a lot of problems that now are worrying pro wrestling fans as Monday Night Raw is set to move to Netflix in January. Are these problems going to be a problem for WWE with the debut of Monday Night Raw on Netflix on January 6th? We got the latest on what WWE is thinking about all this right here on today's Off the Script. A very interesting name was at the Performance Center for one very particular reason. We will go over who and why today. Cody Rhodes is set to main event Saturday night's main event and WrestleMania 41, but against whom? He continues to say, keep the rumor mill going for WrestleMania 41 because you're going to be in for one major surprise as to what he is doing. We got the new Monday Night Raw logo on Netflix and a major name set to return to the company just in time for that debut show on Netflix. All that and more on a very special Sunday episode of Off the Script. And we will start with Netflix. I did watch Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, just like everybody else. We actually did a live reaction to it during the Friday Night SmackDown stream on Friday night. I didn't really care for the fight. I thought it was bullshit, and I thought it was overhyped like everything else usually is that let everybody down. WWE's internal reaction to the Netflix live streaming issues during Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. When Fightful Select immediately inquired with those in WWE about all the technical difficulties that everybody had a problem with, I did not have a problem. So I guess it was a person-by-person basis, or maybe, I was thinking maybe if you subscribe to a higher tier package in Netflix or for Netflix, that it wouldn't be a problem. I don't know what the problem was. Clearly, people had a problem. You saw it all over social media. I did not. So some people did, and some people did not. And this was largely a complaint on social media. So Fightful Select reached out to those in WWE. They said that they have been assured that these issues would be kept at a minimum. One higher-up said that if they were ever going to do the type of traffic Mike Tyson and Jake Paul were doing, that would be a good problem to have. Netflix's Love is Blind finale also had significant streaming issues, as that was a live stream as well, live and happening in the moment that they were streaming it on Netflix. We're told at one point that the OVW wrestler show was being released and marketed. There was a live show being discussed around that. This would also have helped them test the live streaming platform for wrestling on Netflix. So just like WWE said, that was a lot of traffic for Netflix. Probably traffic all at the same time that they have never seen in their history before. But when it comes to Monday Night Raw on Netflix, it's not going to be anywhere near 60 million different households. I think they also touted it was 65 million concurrent streams watching the show at the same time, watching the fight rather, at the same time. That's not going to be a problem for Netflix. They're not going to have a problem with what they had here with the boxing match. They're not going to have that with Monday Night Raw. It's going to be a big deal, don't get me wrong, but I don't think the overwhelming demand for WWE Monday Night Raw January 6th is going to be at the level of a Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. So I think the bandwidth issues, the lag, the server issues, sounds like I'm comparing Netflix to Call of Duty. Jesus Christ, it's so bad over there, man. Black Ops 6 is horrendous. But I don't think they're going to have a problem with WWE. So all the wrestling fans worried about having the same issues that you saw and felt and dealt with during the fight on Friday night, I don't think that's going to be a problem for Netflix. Speaking of Netflix, this is the new Monday Night Raw logo. I don't really care for it at all. It looks like Monday Night Raw. The R looks like a B in Raw, but it is very Netflixy. And they went for definitely a Netflix vibe with this logo. I'm not a fan. I don't really give a shit as long as the show backs up how important this move is and we get the road to WrestleMania where it needs to be. I don't give a shit what the logo looks like, but that is the new Monday Night Raw logo coming to Netflix on January 6th. Should be a good one. Becky Lynch. Yes, the man is coming back to Monday Night Raw just in time for the debut on Netflix. Sources within WWE have told PW Insider that former Women's Champion Becky Lynch is expected back in time for the Raw premiere on Netflix. This would mean that both WWE and Becky Lynch are close to or have confirmed a new agreement. Lynch has been off TV for months after her WWE deal expired. I think if WWE is already planning a Becky Lynch return for Monday Night Raw, that a deal has already been agreed to and that they are just fine printing the little details and letting that woman enjoy the holidays with her family and her husband, and she'll be back to work after the new year. So it's not that big of a deal, but that is a huge boost for the Monday Night Raw women's division, and they're going to be getting Becky Lynch back. They're going to be getting Asuka back. They're going to be getting Rhea Ripley back as of this Monday. So I think that's tremendous for the women's division. Plus, if WWE calls up any of the talents that are ready to get called up from NXT to the main roster, we're looking in pretty good shape for both the Monday night and Friday night women's divisions in WWE. So Becky Lynch is set to make her return. All I ask is that Becky Lynch doesn't come back and win the Royal Rumble in 2025. I would like for them to go with some new faces, some fresh blood, and that goes to Rhea Ripley as well. I don't want to see her come back and win the Royal Rumble and then get Liv Morgan at WrestleMania. I think that would be a terrible creative decision. So we'll see what happens. But Becky Lynch going on into WrestleMania season, it's going to be interesting to see what WWE does with Becky Lynch. If she's coming back, she's going to play a major part. What is that major part going to be going into their biggest season, their biggest show of the year with WrestleMania 41? But she will be back on January 6th. A very interesting name spotted at the WWE Performance Center. Fightful Select reports that former TNA president Scott D'Amore was at the Performance Center on November 8th. According to the report, he was just visiting and was given a tour of the facility. Gee, man, he was there and given a tour of the facility, man, but he was just visiting, man. He was on his way to Starbucks to order himself a Venti pumpkin spice latte, man. And he drove by the Performance Center and said, you know what? Hey, let me make a little detour, man, and stop in and see some old friends that I got over there, man. It'll be a time killer before I got to go to fucking Publix and do my food shopping for the day. Give me a fucking break. Just randomly stopped in, man. You don't think this was a premeditated visit by Scott D'Amore? Come on. It was added that there were also some informal conversations along the way. Gee, I wonder what those conversations were about, man. No further details were given. Following his exit from TNA earlier this year, D'Amore revived Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling and held its first two shows featuring AEW, New Japan, TNA, and Ring of Honor talent. D'Amore is planning on returning with more Maple Leaf shows in 2025. He was still a part of TNA when they began their working relationship with WWE, which is still ongoing, with talent being sent to NXT and NXT talent going to TNA for their TV tapings. You know, this was the man who facilitated the deal to get Jordynne Grace in the Royal Rumble last year, which then blossomed into the TNA and NXT partnership as you see today, with them trading talents back and forth through most of 2024 and on into 2025. Scott D'Amore is not doing anything right now. He's running Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, but it's not a promotion with a TV deal. They're not a promotion with a weekly show. They are a promotion that is basically going to put on super shows that consist of TNA talent, free agents on the indies, and New Japan AEW talent, Ring of Honor talent. They're just going to be super shows that are spread about on the calendar throughout the year. That's all they are. They don't really I don't think they have a plan for a TV deal or a major TV show in the works. I haven't heard anything of that nature. But Scott D'Amore I would not be surprised if Triple H, Shawn Michaels, WWE want to bring in Scott D'Amore to be some sort of upper echelon elite, voice and talent in the company, doing something creatively, producing, something along those lines. Clearly, he is a respected name in the business. Clearly, a lot of people are asking for Scott D'Amore to potentially take over a show or at least be a creative advisor to Tony Khan in AEW, which is never going to happen. For all those people that ask, well, why doesn't Tony Khan go out there and get Scott D'Amore? There's clearly some sort of partnership there, being that AEW and New Japan and Ring of Honor talent were used on Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Khan actually funded some of the fucking Maple Leaf show, to be quite honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But a lot of people are asking, well, why hasn't Tony used Scott D'Amore? That would never happen. It would never happen for one primary reason. If fans are asking for Tony Khan to fix the creative product, and everybody knows, and Tony himself knows, that he is the man behind all of AEW. He is the vehicle that AEW is. But right now, the one behind the driver's wheel is fucking just blasted out of his mind, and he doesn't know right from wrong, left from right. So if you are asking somebody in Tony Khan, who everybody knows is fucking up creative in AEW, and is basically the reason why interest and all the other metrics that go along with it are down, if you ask that person to bring in Scott D'Amore to fix your problems, don't you think that Tony Khan is going to look at Scott D'Amore and say, no, man, you ain't coming in and running my show? If Scott D'Amore comes in and fixes AEW or whatever the fuck is wrong with AEW, don't you think Tony Khan is going to resent that? Don't you think that Tony Khan is going to be emotionally bothered that fans have now jumped on the Scott D'Amore bandwagon and not the Tony Khan bandwagon? Tony Khan would never put himself in a position to be looked at as a less than by the fans of the AEW product, because he's power hungry and he wants all the spotlight for himself. This is the Tony Khan project. This is not a pro wrestling project for the fans. This is a pro wrestling project for Tony Khan. So he would never do that. Tony Khan would be fucking holed up in his room, dark, crying in a corner somewhere in the fetal position, and he would be screaming at his parents, I don't know why they don't like me anymore. What did I do so wrong? Scott D'Amore is never going to come in and fix AEW, because Tony Khan would never allow someone to come in and fix his problems and his messes, because it's going to make him look less than. Now, I don't know what WWE knows. I don't know what WWE feels. I don't know what they got going on out there. But for Scott D'Amore to be out there and not really involved in pro wrestling, it's kind of a crime. If he's so respected and he's got a great mind for the business and he's got a great creative vision, wouldn't you want that part of your company? So I would not be surprised if not Tony Khan, but Triple H and Shawn Michaels are giving him a tour of the Performance Center, and they had some informal conversations. Gee, I wonder what about? Would you be interested in working here at some point? Where do you see yourself? How could we use you to the best of your ability? I mean, they're giving the fucking dude a tour of the Performance Center. Why? If he's there just visiting, hey, man, how you doing? Wife and kids are all right? Great. I got this going on. I'm doing good. I'm on my way to the supermarket. I'll see you later, man. Give me a number. You got a new number? I'll take the number. I'll call you later. The fuck do you need a tour of the Performance Center for? Unless you're going to be involved in the Performance Center and everything that's going on. Come on, man. If I'm WWE, I'm absolutely making Scott D'Amore an offer, and I'm putting him somewhere creatively to run the NXT project. And I think that would be fucking fantastic. And it may turn around for the better, because that show at this point still is very much unwatchable. It is awful. So I would love to see that happen. I would love to see him on the main roster at some point to be working alongside Triple H. I think that would be unbelievable. So I will keep you guys posted on this story if anything else materializes from this. But according to Fightful right now, it's nothing more than a visit and some informal conversations. Give me a break. Cody Rhodes. He will be main eventing Saturday night's main event with Kevin Owens on December 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern from the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Long Island. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer is reporting, take it with a grain of salt, that the main event is slated to feature the undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the title. Stipulation match, maybe, maybe not. We'll see what happens with them going into Survivor Series. Owens and his match with Randy Orton is speculated to take place at the Survivor Series, says Dave Meltzer. I don't think that's going to be the case. As previously reported by WrestleVotes, WWE is planning to hold the second edition of the quarterly special Saturday Night's Main Event on January 25th. That is 1 week before the Royal Rumble. This will be a quick turnaround for the NBC special and takes place a week prior to the Royal Rumble Premium Live event. So they're getting one out in the last quarter of 2024, and they're ready to give you the next one right in the first quarter of 2025. January 25th will be the second Saturday Night's Main Event in the Paul Levesque era, which is shaping up to be quite the calendar for WWE. Saturday Night's Main Event on December 14th. 2 weeks later, or 3 weeks later, rather, from that, we got the Monday Night Raw debut on Netflix. January 25th, Saturday Night's Main Event number 2 on NBC. First in 2025, and then February 1st, the Royal Rumble from the Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. So it's shaping up to be quite the important 2-month stretch here, 3-month stretch for WWE. I can't exclude the Survivor Series here with War Games, which is shaping up to be a big show as well. I think that Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes will get a match. This is just my prediction at Survivor Series. I think Randy Orton is written out and going to remain out. They really played up the cervical contusions and the cervical issue with the pile driver spot last week. I think he will remain out, and we will see him at Saturday Night's Main Event in some way, shape, or form. I think Kevin Owens and Randy Orton will take place in 2025. I think Cody and Kevin Owens, number 2, because they wrestled at Bash in Berlin. That would be the first match in this 3-match series. That was number 1. Number 2 will take place at the Survivor Series, but I don't think it will be a sanctioned match from WWE because logically they had this situation happen with the pile driver. And I don't know why WWE would grant Kevin Owens a championship match against Cody Rhodes. Even Cody Rhodes offering Kevin Owens a championship match is fucking stupid in theory. He wants KO. KO wants Cody. They want to fight. So do a lights out stipulation. It's not sanctioned by WWE. If anything happens there, it's not WWE's problem. I could see something like that taking place at Survivor Series. Kevin Owens wins. He beats Cody Rhodes. And then he gets a championship match at Saturday Night's Main Event, which then we see Randy Orton. He helps Cody Rhodes win. We go on with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens feuding, and then Cody Rhodes can move on to whatever he's got to do for the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania season. Maybe we'll see Rock back at that time, and we can get him into a little bit more of that WrestleMania groove. So I think that is the current plan. That's the way I would do it anyway. Obviously, WWE could do something else, but I think that is the way that it will all shape up. Just from what we've watched so far on TV, I think that is what is going on for the Saturday Night's Main Event issue with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens and Randy Orton coming back. I do think that he will show face once again there on Long Island. And speaking of Cody Rhodes, we'll end with this. The WrestleMania 41 rumors, he says, keep them going. I think what you will get will surprise you all. Now, he spoke with Adrian Hernandez at Complex Con in Las Vegas. Cody Rhodes was asked about the rumors about WrestleMania 41 and whether The Rock will be a part of the event. He says, well, I mean this, and I don't mean this in a smart aleck type of way, but Rock is the director of the board, the man that is the final boss. Dwayne Johnson is different from the final boss. His outside-the-box thinking with Nick Khan and Triple H is part of WWE's record era, part of this WWE Netflix era. So whether he's in the ring or not, he is very much still involved with what happens at WrestleMania 41. I know when he comes back, I know who he'll be coming to look for. I know what to expect. But what I can say about WrestleMania 41 is keep the rumors going, keep them churning, enjoy the discourse, But I think what you will get will surprise you all. Rhodes was also asked about a potential appearance by Stone Cold Steve Austin, who said he's opening to appearing. Rhodes stated that he hopes Austin is seeing what WWE is doing and credits Austin and The Rock for setting the foundation of today's WWE. I hope he's proud of all of us because he really has set the table for us, him and The Rock, in a way that we can eat so fruitfully. So I'd love Steve to do anything. Austin says it's very difficult to get him out of Las Vegas, and being that WrestleMania 41 is happening in Las Vegas, I do think we will see a Stone Cold Steve Austin appearance in some way, shape, or form. Whether he wrestles or not, that remains to be seen, but I know people are still clamoring for a Austin and CM Punk one-on-one match at WrestleMania. Don't think that we'll get it, but he will certainly try and be there this year, being that the event is taking place in Las Vegas. You would think that Cody and The Rock is the direction. I think that's a little too easy. If Cody is going to have someone at WrestleMania, it could be The Rock. It could be Rock and Roman in a triple threat match. That was rumored. Or it could be someone completely different. Randy Orton obviously is on the table for a feud with Cody Rhodes. I don't know if that's going to happen so soon with the Randy and Kevin Owens storyline. I don't know where they're going with that. The outside-the-box idea, which I think a lot of people really aren't paying attention to, is he said that I think what you will get will surprise you all. I think the majority of the people, with what we've watched, are anticipating Rock coming back and going after Cody. That's the easy shoe-in thing to do because the last time we saw The Rock on television was at Bad Blood. And before that, he was on the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania 40, where he had this weird interaction with Cody Rhodes. He asked to hold the WWE title. He kind of admired it, and he let Cody hold the People's Championship. It would be all the logic that we see with Cody and Rock. It would kind of lead them going into WrestleMania 41 as the main event of the show. Now, the last time we saw The Rock, like I said, outside that was at Bad Blood. Cody, Jimmy Uso, and Roman were in the ring, and he held up the three and then did the throat slash, did Dwayne Johnson. I don't know what that means at this point. I gave you guys a possible inside or a glimpse into what that potentially means on Friday night with Seth Rollins maybe joining the OG Bloodline and fighting alongside them against Solo's Bloodline that includes Bronson Reed. Nobody knows what that significant number 3 means from The Rock. We don't know yet. A lot of people are thinking that's the direction. But what if we do get Rock and Roman? And what if we do get Cody Rhodes versus John Cena? Now, if we get Rock and Cody, that means Rock would have to win one of 2 matches. He would have to be in the Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble, or not appear in the Royal Rumble, and then win the Elimination Chamber to get Cody Rhodes. All the discourse started last year because Rock interjected himself, took Cody's WrestleMania win away, and basically had Cody hand it over with him doing nothing. So if they bring Rock in this year, are we really going to give Rock a championship match and bypass the winner of the Royal Rumble and bypass the winner of the Elimination Chamber just to give Rock a championship match against Cody Rhodes? If Rock is wrestling Cody, he has to earn a shot at wrestling Cody at WrestleMania. I don't give a fuck who you are or where you are in the pecking order or what board seat you hold. You need to wrestle, and you need to earn it the way everybody else does. So do you see that happening? I mean, I would love the discourse because the discourse means views and the discourse means everybody's numbers are up on YouTube. That would be great. I think everybody is ready for something like that to happen this year as well. And I do think a lot of people are expecting something like that to happen again. But I don't think that's best for business. 2025, we're seeing John Cena retire. His retirement tour is happening next year. I think it's safe to say that one of the leading candidates to win the Royal Rumble next year is John Cena. Are we getting John Cena versus Cody Rhodes happening on night 1 for the WWE title? Are we going to get John Cena winning the WWE title in his last WrestleMania? That's certainly a choice. And are we getting Rock versus Roman in the main event of night 2? Well, we end the Bloodline story and just move on from everything Bloodline related and end that chapter of this current Bloodline story with that being the main event of night 2. It's a possibility. Certainly a possibility. Now, the way I would do it, I don't necessarily think that John Cena getting a championship match at WrestleMania and him winning the Royal Rumble is the way to go. That is so predictable. So fucking predictable. I don't know who's going to be excited about that. It's just going to be like, oh, man, John Cena announces retirement, his last Royal Rumble ever. Let's give John Cena the Royal Rumble, and let's give him a championship match at WrestleMania where he wins the number 17 and breaks Ric Flair's record. I mean, that's just super fucking predictable, bro. Super predictable. Do you want to see that happen? I would rather them tell the story of John Cena not winning a wrestling match in how many fucking years, one-on-one, tell that story, have whoever eliminates him from the Royal Rumble, have that be his WrestleMania opponent. I would have Logan Paul enter the Royal Rumble and eliminate John Cena, breaking his heart, and then for weeks claim that he's better than John Cena, leading to a match between them at WrestleMania, and John Cena beats Logan Paul at WrestleMania, gets that win back, and then chases either Cody or Gunther for either world championship going into SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights as well. What I would do is that, and I would leave Cody and The Rock to main event WrestleMania on night 2. That's just the way that I would do it. I don't know. But I don't think WWE is going to go that way. The more we see things play out on TV and the more vibe that we get moving on into Survivor Series and then Saturday night's main event, I just don't see them doing that. I could see them doing Cody and Cena and then Rock Roman on both nights of WrestleMania in Las Vegas. We'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think down below. Sound off in the comment section below. Let me know what you would do in that situation. Let me know what you think Scott D'Amore's visit to the Performance Center was. Do you think that he is potentially coming on into WWE? And let me know what you think of the Monday Night Raw logo. Do you like it? Or do you just flat out hate it? So let me know down below in the comment section. It is yours, and every comment you guys leave down there, it helps me out in the algorithm. What also helps is you hitting the thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes today on Off the Script. And please hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. There is plenty of it, especially the second channel. We got some great clips going up there all week long. Go and check it out. Link is down below in the description. And I will be back with you guys tomorrow night live for Monday Night Raw right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.